Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Thine is, oh yeah, the kingdom and the power and the glory, oh yeah, forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in Shemu'იმ. All praises, glory, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Wamalak Yahweh Shai, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom wa Baruchim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day when the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone, with our enemies, our adversaries, and all those who hate us under our feet. All praises to the Almighty Yah. Hallelujah.
So be it. Hallelujah.
Yes, indeed. I am joined this evening by my most esteemed Akinanaya. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Aki. Shabbaton Yasharal. Call Halal Yahweh. Bahashem Hamashiach wa Malak Yahweh Shai. Barakatham.
Indeed. All praises to Yahweh in the name of his beloved son, Yahweh Shai. Messiah and King, bless you. Hallelujah. All praises once again. We are back for another scripture reading, and was grabbing the Bible.com for a reference in case we need it. All praises to the Most High. You've joined us the past few weeks. We've been edified, greatly edified in the readings that have gone forth. We're here in the book of Shemu'ėl, First Shemu'ėl. We're picking up at chapter number 11. The headline reads, Shaul defeats the Amorites. Verse 1. We're going to start right here. And bless Yahweh for all those who would join and all those who would read along with us. You are very appreciated. And to Most High Power, Yahweh, whether you pronounce his name Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yehovah, whatever the case, let him be edified, magnified, and glorified in all that we do here. Verse 1, chapter 11. Then Naash, the Amorite, came and encamped against, was that Gabu Gilead?
Gilead Khan.
All right, Tolaki. And all the men of Yabesh or Yobesh said unto Naash, make a covenant with us, and we will serve you. So I almost remember this now. I think this cat is the evil cat.
Indeed, indeed. And he's one of the sons of the sons of Lot, the Ammonites.
Yeah.
But this Jabesh Gilead, from what I remember, is in the territory of Manasseh.
Okay, kind. Yeah. Jabesh is dry. Yeah, towns of Gilead and in a bus beyond Jordan, 6 miles or 10 kilometers from Petra, the mount road of Gazaria, site unknown, but maybe modern Wayabs. Father of Shemu'ėl. I can't even say that name, right?
That's
Shalom.
Shalom. Khan.
Oh, okay. Told her. I'm like, man, I couldn't even get that out. But yeah. All right.
And it might be I said Manasseh, it might be Ephraim, now that I think about it. You remember the people were mad at Gideon. They came from Jabesh Gilead, I believe. And they were from Ephraim.
Yeah, kind. Yeah, because that's where he was from. Wasn't he Ephraim, right?
No, he was from Matali.
Okay, kind. Okay. Oh, that's right. Man, hard to keep up with all these all these history. But yeah, definitely gotta keep it straight. Verse 2. And Nahash the Amorite answered them, on this condition will I make a covenant with you, and I may trust all of your eyes and lay it for a reproach upon all of Israel. Like, what? This dude is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Who would take that deal? And the elders of Yabesh said unto him, give us 7 days to respond, that we may send messenger unto all the coast of Israel. And then, if there be any man to save us, we will come out to you. And then came the messenger of Gabriel of Shaul, and told the tidings of the people in the ears of the people. And all the people lifted up their voices and wept. And behold, Shaul came after and heard out of the field. And Shaul said, what aileth the people that they weep? And they told the tidings of the men of Yabesh. And the spirit of the Most High came upon Shaul when he heard these tidings, and his anger was kindled great. Like, you mean to tell me this sucker said that he want to pull out our eye? Oh, heck no. No. We about to handle this. Verse 7. And he took the yoke of oxen and hewed them in pieces and sent them throughout all the coast of Israel by the hands of messengers, and said, whoso cometh not forth after Shaul and after Shemu'eel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of Yahweh fell upon the people, and they came out with one consent. So now they ready for action. So he done motivated them. Yeah, he done motivated them. Like, all right, it's gonna be yours if this don't go the right way. Verse 8. And when they numbered them of Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Yehuda 30,000. So they got 330,000 men ready for action. Verse 9. And they said unto the messengers that came, thus shall you say unto the men of Yabesh Gilead, tomorrow by this time the sun will be hot, you shall have help. And the messengers came and showed it to the men of Yabesh, and they were glad. Therefore the men of Yabesh said, tomorrow we will come out unto you, and you shall do with us as you seem good unto you. So yeah, we're gonna come out, we're gonna holler at you tomorrow, and whatever you feel like doing, be ready to do it, because it's going down, Alicat. So be ready. Verse 11. And it was so on the morrow, and Shaul put the people in 3 companies, and they came unto the midst of the host, and marched in the morning watch, and slew the Amorites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left together. So this is the second battle we see really pertaining to the Amorites, and I can conclusively say that the Amorites were sorry, because every conflict we've seen them in, they have gotten their butts completely kicked so bad that it didn't even list the battle. Like, they were not even competition. Now, ironically, we did read before where the Amorites had taken the children of Moab. So that tells me that those 2 were pretty easy as it pertained to fighting. They were I hate to say that easy. I hate to use that term, but the Most High definitely have delivered the Amorites into our hands, this being the second occasion. And it was a very seeming to be easy victory from what I can tell. So, but let's continue. Verse 12. And the people said unto Shemu'eel, who is he that said, shall Shaul reign over us? Bring the men, that we may put them to death. Now, who is challenging the authority of Shaul? Verse 13. Let's see how Shaul reacts to that. And Shaul said, there shall be no man put to death this day, for today Yahweh have wrought salvation in Israel. So now,
hallelujah.
Yeah, indeed. Our king, he's feeling, he's got that positive spirit on him, and he's dealing from that hand. He's not dealing with like trying to handle somebody. Oh, they said something about me. Well, instead of putting them to death, let's just be happy we won.
And that's good leadership. You know what I mean? Not seeking to think about if they would have pulled those people out that did say, man, shall Shaul reign over us, and put them to death. Somebody, that's somebody's family member. You know, that's not going to unite the people. And at this time, we are still a loose confederation of 12 tribes. We're not really totally united the way that we should be. You know, it takes something bad to happen before we come together. And oftentimes after we come together, shortly after we fall apart. But Shaul is not seeking for that to happen. You know, he's like, let's unite.
Yeah, let's get it together. You know, the Most High done delivered us, and delivered our enemies in our hands. We won the battle, and you know, we time to celebrate, time to be joyous and merry, you know, together. So I like that aspect. I like that spirit that was on him, you know, to be able to do what he did. So continue.
How we ought to be as brothers.
Absolutely, 100%, Hakeem. And that's one thing that we can always learn through the scripts. How can we be better brothers? How can we do better as brothers? You know, because that's one thing that has eluded us in this captivity. So, verse 14. Then said Shaul to the people, "Come and let us go to Gilgal and renew the kingdom there." And the people said, and the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Shaul king before Yahweh in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices and shalom offerings before Yahweh. And there Shaul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. At that point. Go ahead, Aki.
I was going to say, you know, before this time, we had, Moshe was is referred to as a king of Yeshurun, but that was outside of the land that was promised to our forefathers.
Right.
Now we're in the land of our forefathers, loose confederation of 12 tribes without a king, but we had judges and we had the Most High, which was all we ever needed.
Right.
However, now we have a kingdom. We have a king, and now we are becoming a kingdom. Still loosely confederated, as we'll read in the coming chapters. But you know, it can be argued that this is the origin of the kingdom of Yasharal.
Yeah, it's definitely the coming together of it. It's definitely the culmination of all of everything that Moshe had done, and moving forward to Joshua and to the judges. And here we were coming into our own here. And, you know, we can say we hit the peak during the time of Dawid, and even Shimshon, you know, things got even better. But none of it it's all going to pale in comparison when Hamashiach shows up and he unites the people. Because when this people is united under Hamashiach, oh, it's going to be it's going to be something we've never seen. There's a lot of us have not even thought about, have not even dreamt of. That's how deep it's going to be. That's how next level it's going to be. And I cannot wait until that day comes. But let's continue. Chapter 12. Shemu'ėl addresses Israel, verse 1. And Shemu'ėl said unto all of Israel, Behold, I have hearkened unto your voices in all that you have said unto me, and you have made a king over you. So this is Shemu'ėl talking. He's given us Shaul. Verse 2. And now, behold, the king walketh before you, and I am old and gray-headed, and behold, my sons are with you. And I have walked before you from my childhood until this day. Behold, here I am, witness against me before Yahweh, and before his anointed, whose oxen have I taken, or whose donkeys have I taken, or whom have I defrauded, whom have I oppressed, or of whose have I received any bribe to bind my eyes therewith, and I will restore you. Witness against me, tell me where I've gone wrong, show it to me, and I'll make it right. If you can do it, I will make it right. That's what Shemu'ėl is saying here. Verse 4. And they said, You have not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither have you aught in any man's hand. And he said unto them, Yahweh is witness against you, and his anointed is witness this day, and you have not fought fought aught in my hand. And he answered, he is witness. And Shemu'ėl said unto the people, it is Yahweh that advised Moshe and Aaron and have brought your fathers out of the land of Mizraim. Now, therefore, stand still, that I may reason with you before Yahweh with all the righteous acts of Yahweh, which he did to you and your fathers. When Yaakov was come to Mizraim, and your fathers cried unto Yahweh, then Yahweh said unto Moshe and Aaron, which brought you forth out of the land of Mizraim, and made them dwell in this place. And when they forgot Yahweh, their power, he sold them into the hands of Sirna, captain of the host of Hazar, and unto the hand of the Philistines, and unto the hand of the king of Moab. And they fought against them. And they cried unto Yahweh and said, we have sinned because we have forsaken Yahweh and have served evil and lady evil. But now deliver us out of the hand of our enemies, and we will serve you. And Yahweh sent Gideon. I hate to use that name, man. I hate that. That's Gideon. That's what that is. That means what that means. Was a slayer? I can't remember.
Contrary to evil, or contend against evil.
Yeah. So that's what this word means. It was he was against it. Yeah, he was a contender of it. But actually with the B, with one B. So that B is for the evil. But this Yerub, yeah, Yerub. That's what I'm trying to say. Man, I'm still working on these names. Yerub. But that means that he was against it. So let's start at verse 11 again. It says, and Yahweh sent Yerub against the evil, and Badan, and Yaphtha, and Shemu'eel to deliver you out of the hand of your enemies on every side, and you dwell safe. The king confirmed. Verse 12. And when you saw that Nahash, king of the children of Ammon, came against you, you said unto me, La'ah, but the king shall reign over us. Then Yahweh, your power, was your king. So at that time, Yahweh was the king of Israel, Yasharon, and instead we decided that we wanted a king like the nations. So he's given us the full rundown, giving us all of the details. Verse 13. Now therefore, behold, the king of whom you have chosen, of whom you desired, and behold, Yahweh has set a king over you. If you will fear Yahweh and serve him, to obey his voice and not rebel against the commandments of Yahweh, then shall both you and also the king that reigneth over you continue following Yahweh your power. But if you will not obey the voice of Yahweh, but rebel against his commandments, against the commandments of Yahweh, then then shall the hand of Yahweh be against you, as it was against your fathers. So, and we should be, when you hear that, as it was against your fathers, like that should get your mind in the right direction. Like Shemu'ėl wasn't just saying this for the sake of saying it. I mean, he's really trying to get us focused, and he did an awesome job. I hear that, man. You're right. I don't want to end up like that. From what we've read thus far, I don't want to end up like that. Verse 16. Now therefore stand and see the great thing which Yahweh have done before your eyes. Is it not wheat harvest today? I will call upon I will call unto Yahweh, and he shall send thunder and rain, that you may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, which he have done in the sight of Yahweh, in asking you a king. So Shemu'eel is like condemning them for asking for this king. And even though he's presenting him, he's saying, this is what you asked for. Now, man, you the king, you standing here, you just defeated the enemies, and you hearing all of this. He's saying all of this right in front of you. And this is your presentation, your introduction to the people. But this is the destiny, though. This is what Yahweh said was going to happen. You know, man, that king that you're going to have, he's going to do all of these things. So, verse 18. So Shemu'eel called unto Yahweh, and Yahweh then sent thunder and rain that day. And all the people greatly feared Yahweh and Shemu'eel. And all the people said unto Shemu'eel, pray for your servants unto Yahweh your power, that we die not, for we have added unto our sins this evil, to ask us a king. So now this is the sentiment of the people. So this is why I kind of felt bad for Shaul, because Shaul really never had a chance. You know what I'm saying? He really was, from the start, he really was messed up, and he was destined to really go off. Like that was his whole purpose. Like I'm gonna bring him in, and he's gonna go way off. He's gonna go way out left, and then I'm gonna fix it up and give you somebody that's gonna be good for you. So that's hard to really. I'm not gonna say it's not fair, because the Most High is just balances and all of that. So I certainly wouldn't say it's not fair, but man, to have to be in that position, that is not a position I would want to be in. I can say that. That's not a position I would want to be in. So, yeah. I don't think anybody would disagree with me either. I mean, this is your presentation, and this is what's being said about this king and how the people repenting for it. We shouldn't have asked for a king. We shouldn't have. But the king is here. He's right before you. And now you regretting even asking for him. You know what I'm saying? So, verse 20. And Shemu'eel said unto the people, fear not, you have done all these wickedness. You turn not aside from following Yahweh, to serve Yahweh with all of your heart, and turn not aside that you should go after vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver, for they are vain. For Yahweh will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it have pleased Yahweh to make you his people. Moreover, as for me, the Most High forbid that I should sin against Yahweh and ceasing to pray for you. But I will teach you the good and the right way. I just noticed something right here. I don't know if you caught this before, or if we mentioned it before. I don't know if we talked about it before, but ain't this something? He said, Most High forbid that I should sin against Yahweh and ceasing to pray for you. So
is he saying like I'm sorry, go ahead, Aki.
Yeah, so Shemu'eel is saying what I'm taking from this is that he's saying it would be sin to cease to pray for the people.
To stop praying for the people would be a sin.
Indeed. That's the way I read this. I mean, that's pretty dope.
It makes sense, huh?
It does. Like it really does. Like
I
I said, I don't
mean,
know if we've seen that before. I don't remember us discussing it before. But yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting to see there.
it's
Uh,
almost like a similar role as Moshe, praying for the people.
yeah, indeed, indeed. Shemu'ėl is saying basically the same thing. Like I'm not gonna sin against the power for by not doing this for you. By not interceding on your behalf. That would be that takes me to the script that says, "For he that knoweth to do right and does it not, it is sin against him."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember where it's at, but I remember what it said. So, but let's continue here. Verse 24. Only fear Yahweh and serve him truth with all of your heart, and consider how great things he have done for you. But if you shall do wickedly, you shall be consumed, both you and your king. Now, that's not a bad thing, because he's saying, he's giving you a stipulation. If you do wickedly, you're gonna be consumed. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
We understand this. So it's in our best interest to choose righteousness and not wickedness. So, all right, continuing here up to chapter 13, and this is good stuff. I'm thankful. I'm always thankful to get into these historical books, and Shemu'ėl is the beginning of that. Uh, First Shemu'ėl chapter 13, war with the Philistines, verse 1. Shaul reigned 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, Shaul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Shaul in Mishmash and in the Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gilead of Benjamin, and the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent. And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was in uh, uh, Geba, Geba. And the Philistines heard of it. And Shaul blew the trumpet throughout all the land, saying, "Let the Hebrews hear." And all of Israel heard, saying that Shaul had smitten the garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also was had in abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Shaul in Gilgal. So now they feeling good because Jonathan went out and did the work and smote a whole garrison. Now Jonathan, for those of you who don't know, this is I think our first introduction to this brother. This is the son of Shaul, and he has a warrior spirit. It's not manufactured. He came with it. It is him. He's a man of war, and we're
God.
gonna get through this reading here. So
You
uh,
know, I
yeah,
real quick.
all right, man.
So he says, "Let the Hebrews hear,"
Yeah,
and it's funny because we know that the Ammonites are, they come from Eber.
right.
Uh, uh, let's see, who else?
The Moabites.
Ammon and
Yeah,
Moab.
yeah.
There's Midians. These would have been considered
Oh,
Hebrews.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm wondering if our ancestors looked at them as Hebrews, because this seems like this is a call for what we would have referred to as Yasharal, but
Yeah.
because he just got through fighting a battle against some other Hebrews. So would he be saying, "Listen up, Hebrews"?
Well,
I
no,
don't know.
he was fighting. Actually, they was just fighting the Philistines.
Yeah, but the battle before was
Oh,
against Ammon,
right.
who were
Yeah,
also
Hebrews. Yeah,
Khan.
you're right. I key on that. Yeah, kind. Uh, that's an interesting thought because would they consider them as Hebrews? Would they look at them as Hebrews the same as we were?
Khan.
Uh, I don't think so because when I think about in the text in the Torah, it says when you have a Hebrew servant, you shall let him go at the Jubilee, at the Jubilee. So that's not a Moabite. It's not an Ammonite. You know, that's not an Ishmaelite. Those are that's the children of Israel.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't think they group them into that. Now here's the irony is that they spoke the same language.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some similar customs. You know, were they all the same? No, they had some similar customs. I'm sure they dressed similarly. You know, probably not the same, but very, you know, some similar. They would be all what we would think of as Eastern dress. You know, uh, So yeah, that's an interesting point, indeed. Continuing verse 5. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Bethhaven. And the men saw, Slaki, when the men of Israel saw that they were in straits, the people were distressed. Then the people did hide themselves in caves and in the thickets and in rocks and in high places and in pits. So now they see the adversary is coming at them, and they strapped up, they armed up, they ready for war. Now they're afraid. They are afraid. And ironically, they hide, which the first thing we notice about Yohanan, or not Yohanan, Slaki, the first thing we noticed about Shaul was he hid. When they first called him out, well, the first thing we noticed is that he was taller than everybody else. But when they were looking for him, they said he's hid among the people. He hid himself. He was afraid. So now they doing it. They emulating the king. Verse 7. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan into the land of Gad and of Gilead. As for Shaul, he was not yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. So not only are they afraid, they are visibly afraid, and they are trembling. Like, well, we was talking about before we got on. We was talking about the responsibility of a man, and to protect your women, your children, and basically your nation. And you see all these Philistines and all of these chariots and all of these footmen and all this other stuff. And, your first inkling got to be, it's battle time. It's time to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta protect mine. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do against them to do that. So, that's the makeup of a man. That's what the makeup of a man should be. So instead, these brothers were scared, man. Scared. So verse 8, Slakim. And he tarried 7 days according to the time set of Shemu'eel had appointed. But Shemu'eel came not to Gilgal, and the people were stretched from him. And Shaul said, Bring hither the burnt offering to me, and the peace offering. And he made offerings, and he offered the burnt offering. So here's his first little piece that he goes off, his first error. Waiting on Shemu'eel. Shemu'eel is what? The high priest. This is his child. This is the son of Levi. Is he a son of Aharon?
Khan.
Yeah.
And let's see.
I believe he is. I believe you're right.
He's also a descendant of, believe it or not, Kohath, or Korah rather.
Oh. Okay.
Hold on. No, that can't be right. Hold on.
Yeah, because he couldn't be Aharon and Korah.
Okay, so like he wouldn't be of Aharon, but how was he the high priest then?
I mean, he was the prophet.
Con.
Getting the information directly from the Most High. So I don't know. I want to go back now.
Yeah, me too. But I want to say it talks about it in Chronicles. That's how I knew that he was a descendant of Korah, which was. But I don't know, because didn't all Korah's? I might be wrong because Korah's all his descendants might have been deleted.
I think it was just him. I don't think it was all his descendants. I think it was just him, those men that were with him. There was what, 250 of them? If I remember.
I forget, it was some Reubenites with him too.
Yeah. It was like 200. I want to say it was 250, and they all went down in the hole. Yeah. So we'll come to it. We'll come to it as we continue here. Let's continue verse 10. And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, behold, Shemu'ėl came. And Shaul went out to meet him, that he might salute him. So now he came. Look, you got to imagine, Shaul is excited. He's just, he's been waiting on Shemu'ėl. He just did the offering himself. And then he goes to meet Shemu'ėl and ready to salute. And let's see what happens here. Verse 11. And Shemu'ėl said, what have you done? This is straight off the back. Like, he didn't no salute, no Shalom, Yahweh, none of that. What have you done? And Shaul said, because I saw that the people were stretched from me, scattered from me, and you came not within the days appointed, and that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Mishmash. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down to upon me and to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto Yahweh. I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering. I forced myself and offered. That's just how Negroes talk, man. Yeah, man. I couldn't even help it, man. I just had to do it. You know, I didn't even want to do it, but I had to make myself do it because it just needed, to be done. And Shemu'ėl, I just imagine Shemu'ėl staring a hole through Shaul. Shaul probably talking to him. He probably looking down at the ground, looking over to the left, looking all around, talking all this stuff, and meanwhile, Shemu'ėl already know what's happening. He already know. Because I guarantee you, and we don't read it here, but so I'm not going to say I guarantee you, but I'm certain that it was Yahweh that had Shemu'ėl running a bit late because he knew what Shaul was going to do. So let's continue. Verse 13. And Shemu'ėl said unto Shaul, you have done foolishly, and you have not kept the commandments of Yahweh your power, which he commanded you. For now would Yahweh have established your kingdom upon Israel forever. Like, dude, you tripping. And this foolishness you're doing, it's going to cost you. And if you hadn't done this, you'd be in the best position you could possibly be in. But now you're going to have to prove yourself. Verse 14. But now your kingdom shall not continue. Yahweh have sought him a man after his own. Oh, my bad. He'd have cut him off already. So that one act and don't get me wrong, and I say that, I'm saying one act because that's how we read it. But understand, Slack, and I'm going to get back to let me finish the verse here just a second. Understand that Yahweh has already informed Israel through Shemu'ėl what manner of king we will receive. This is the evil king that we will get at the gate. And this is Shaul. This is why I say I really felt sorry for Shaul, because he never really had a chance. He never really had an opportunity. because he was destined to be this. This is his destiny. He can't be the good king. It cannot happen because he would make Yahweh a liar if he did that. So this is so deep because did he want to be the wicked king? Who wants to be the wicked king?
God.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why this is so deep. But let me finish this verse 14. But now the kingdom, your kingdom shall not continue. Yahweh has sought him a man after his own heart, and Yahweh have commanded him to be captain over his people. Because you have not kept that which Yahweh commanded you. So you messed up, it's over for you. So I said initially he was got to prove himself. He done proved himself already. Because he already knew what manner of a man he was. Or what manner of a man he would be, I should say. Verse 15. And Shemu'eel arose and got him up from Gilgal unto Gibeah of Benjamin. And Shaul numbered the people that were present with him, about 600 men. And Shaul and Jonathan his son, and the people that were present with him, abode in Gibeah of Benjamin. But the Philistines encamped in Michmash. And the spoilers came out of the camp of the Philistines in 3 companies. One company turned unto the way and led to Ophrah, unto the land of Shaul. And the other company turned the way of Betharon. And another company turned into the way of the border that looked to the valley of Zaboam, towards the wilderness. Now, there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. But all of the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his spear and his coulter and his axe and his matok. It sounds like they in captivity. Like they got to go to their enemies for everything.
God.
That's crazy. That's our situation. We can't even, you know what I'm saying? We you know, let me shut up. Verse 21. Let me shut up. Verse 21. Yet they had a file for the matok and for the coulter and for the forks and for the axes and the sharpener, the goads. Verse 22. And it came to pass in the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Shaul and Jonathan. But Shaul and Jonathan his son was there found. And the garrison of the Philistines went out to the passage of Michmash. So none of the people had any weapons, but with Shaul and Jonathan, they had the weapons. So out of everybody, they had weapons, and nobody else did, which is something else. But let's continue here. We're going to continue. First Shemu'eel chapter 14, Jonathan's victory. Verse 1. And it came to pass upon a day that Jonathan, the son of Shaul, went unto the young men that bear his armor bearer, come, and let us go over to the Philistines' garrison that is on the other side. But he told not his father. So, like I said, Jonathan is about that. He's a man of war, and it's not You know what I'm saying? It's not something that he just doing because he think I'm the king's son and I can do this. No, he's built this way. This is him. Verse 2. And Shaul tarried in the utmost part of Gibeah, under the pomegranate tree, which is in uh, Mingron. And the people that were with him were about 600 men. So he's surrounded by cats that's with him. These are Israelites. He's surrounded with Israelites. About 600 men. Verse 3. And Ayah, the son of Abtu, Isabad's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it right. Is it Ichabod?
Ichabod.
Ichabod. Okay, I said Isabad. Ichabod. Okay, it came to me a little bit later. The son of Phinehas, the son of Eli, Yahweh's priest in Shion, wearing an ephod, and the people knew not that Jonathan was gone, so they don't even know Jonathan went over there. And between the passage by which Jonathan sought to go over unto the Philistines' garrison, there was a sharp rock on one side and a sharp rock on the other side. And the name of the one was Buzel.
Boozes, I think.
Easy. Buzez. And the name of the other, Sinek. N-E-H. Sinek.
Sinek Khan.
Okay, told her, all praise to the Father. Hallelujah. Verse 5. Look, I like when I get them right sometimes.
Indeed.
Indeed. Verse 5. The forefront of the one was is that statue or salute?
Situate.
Oh, I was way off. Situated northward over against Mishmash, and the other southward over against Gibeah, E-A-H, Gibeah. All right, verse 6. And Jonathan said unto the young man that was his armor bearer, Come, and let us go over unto the garrison of those uncircumcised. It may be that Yahweh will work for us, for there is no restraint to Yahweh to save by many or by few. Like, look, we're going to go over here and we're going to see what we can happen. Most High might do some work and we're going to get that work in and let it be so. Verse 7. And his armor bearer said unto him, Do all that is in your heart. Turn you, behold, I am with you according to your heart. So his armor bearer about that life too. Like, you with it? I'm with it. Let's do it. Then said Jonathan, Behold, we will pass over unto these men, and we will discover ourselves unto them. If they say unto us, Tarry until we come to you, then we shall stand in our place, and we will not go up unto them. But if they say unto us, Come up unto us, then we will go up, for Yahweh hath delivered them into our hand, and this shall be the sign unto us. So I like the fact that Jonathan didn't go over there without a plan. He actually had a plan. It's going to go this way, or it's going to go that way. If it goes that way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think about situations that I've been in. How many times did I go in and I didn't have a plan?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to feel like, if this happened, then I'm going to go this way. If that happened, I'm going to go that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we got to learn from these things. Verse 14. And both the men discovered themselves unto the garrison of the Philistines, And the Philistines said, Behold, Hebrews come forth out of the hole. There they have hid themselves. And the men of the garrison answered Jonathan and his armor bearer and said, Come up to us, and we will show you a thing. And Jonathan said unto his armor bearer, Come up after me, for Yahweh hath delivered them into the hand of Israel. So they did exactly according to the plan, and he followed exactly what he said he was going to do. So praises to the Abba. Verse 13. And Jonathan climbed up unto his hands and upon his feet, and his armor bearer after him. And they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer slew after him. And that first slaughter which Jonathan and his armor bearer made was about 20 men, wherein, as it were, an half acre of land, which which a yoke of ox might plow. So it was a half acre. I mean, I'm just imagining these two probably young men just chopping these Philistines, and they just drop it. You know what I'm saying? They just drop it right, getting right after it. And it's a whole garrison. For y'all who don't know, a garrison is what you would call like a base. Like this is like a base of people. So I shouldn't say a base, more like a camp. It's like an entire group. So it's not like we're not talking about a squad, which would be a line of people, a platoon, which would be like 4 lines, but a garrison is like a number of platoons, and they're there to self-sustain. So they have people to feed them. They have people to slack it. They have people to feed them, people to keep the operation functional. Somebody's in charge of weapons. Somebody's in charge of every aspect of what they need. And they go in, and this whole camp, they're handling this whole garrison. That's what the term garrison means. They're handling this whole thing. 2 of them, and of course the spirit of the Most High is with both of them. So continuing verse 15. And there was trembling in the host in the field and among all the people, the garrison and the spoilers, they also trembled, and the earth quaked. So it was a very great trembling. So the earth quaked because they were so afraid at these young men coming in here, putting the whooping to them. And they didn't have an answer for 2 men. They don't have an answer for it. Verse 16. And the watchmen of Shaul and Gabid of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away, and they went on beating down one another. Then said Shaul unto the people that were with him, Number now and see who is gone from us. And when they had numbered, behold, Jonathan and his armor bearer were not there. And Shaul said unto Aiah, Bring hither the ark of the Most High. For the ark of the Most High was at that time with the children of Israel. And it came to pass, when Shaul talked unto the priests, that the noise that was in the host of the Philistines went on and increased. And Shaul said unto the priests, Withdraw your head. Now, I find it ironic that he would mention the ark, because the ark had gotten taken, and it was a whole fiasco. We just read that over the last week or two, and that's strange. But continue with verse 20. So Shaul and all the people that were with him assembled themselves and came to the battle. And behold, every man's sword was against his fellow, and there was a very great uh, discomfiture. Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines before that time went up uh, with them unto the camp from the country round about. And they also turned to be with the Israelites. And there was Shemuel and, or Slaki, there was Shaul and Yohanan.
Kanak,
Yeah,
that's very interesting as well.
yeah,
You know, we've got some of our people that are living amongst these Philistines, and you know, so much to the point where they're not with their people. However, when this battle takes place, they switch sides back
yeah,
to where they should be.
yeah.
You know, my bigger question is, who are these Israelites who are on the same at this time on the same side with the Philistines?
Yeah.
And I can't help but to remember what we read back in the Judges of how it was the children of Yehuda that gave over Samson to the
Mm,
Philistines.
yeah, it was. It sure was.
And if we look at that territory where the Philistines reigned at,
Mhm.
this would have been the land that would later become, Yahweh's portion, or
Wow.
this was, around Yahweh's portion.
Wow. That's interesting, Aki, because
Con,
that's two things. So that nothing, when we read this, nothing seems foreign because this is commonplace here today as
mm-hmm.
we are scattered among these other nations. You know what I'm saying? And we got our people in a lot of cases that are against separation until something happens and
Con,
separation becomes a necessity. Yeah. Which is the same thing that that Pharaoh said. Remember, Pharaoh said, "There fall out any war, they join against our enemies and fight against us." That's been the concern from day one. It was a concern
con,
here, it was the concern there, and it's a concern right here at this modern time. So interesting, good point, Aki. Continuing verse 22. Likewise, all the men of Israel which had hid themselves in Mount Ephraim, when they had heard that the Philistines fled, even they also followed hard after them in battle. So Yahweh saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over Bethaven. Shaul's foolish order. Verse 24. And all the men of Israel were distressed that day, for Shaul had adjourned the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening, that I may be avenged of my enemies. So none of the people tasted any food, and all they that were in the land came to the wood, and there was honey upon the ground. And when the people were coming to the wood, behold, the honey dripped or dropped. Oh, it's dropped. It's an O, not an I. I'm tripping. It dropped. But no man put his hand to his mouth, for the people feared the oath. But Jonathan heard not that his father had charged the people with the oath. Wherefore he put forth the end of his rod that was in his hand, and dipped it in the honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes were enlightened. Then answered one of the people and said, Your father straitly charged the people with an oath, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food this day. and the people were faint. Then said Jonathan, my father have troubled the land. So I pray you, how my eyes have been enlightened, because I have tasted a little of this honey. How much more if if happily the people had eaten freely today of the spoils of their enemies, which were found. For there had not been much a greater slaughter among the Philistines. Like if we had energy and were filled with our bellies, we could have been in here handling these cats like even greater than what we've been doing. You know?
You know what? And I'm
Yeah.
thinking about what he has to say.
Yeah.
And we're mindful not to be murmurers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But would this be murmuring, or would this be, a brother speaking truth,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's speaking from his own experience because he literally tasted the honey and his eyes got brighter. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm energized. Like I can tell the difference because I didn't even realize how hungry I was, and I tasted this honey, and now I feel so much better. Just a little taste make me feel so much better. Imagine if all our people not only had a little taste, but were rewarded with some good chow. That's what we called it when I was in the army. Some good food, some good chow, and now we ready for battle because now you're eating, you're taken care of. Now you're ready to get after it. But instead, they told, don't eat anything till the sun go down. Like, why? Why is this a thing? Why is this a concern? But it is what it is. Continue with verse 31. And they smote the Philistines from that day from Michmash to uh, Laon, and the people were very faint. So it keeps reiterating that the people are having a hard time functioning because they're hungry. They're literally starving. Verse 32. And the people flew up and spoiled and took sheep and oxen and calf and slew them on the ground. And the people did eat them with the blood. So they were so hungry, they were so starving that they actually killed livestock and they ate it raw. That's what it means when it say with the blood. They ate it raw. That's how starving they was. They felt like that. Now, to put this in perspective, and I'm gonna shut up here. I'm gonna keep reading. But uh, when you are in battle, when you are moving so rigorously, when you're fighting your enemy and destroying them, you're burning a lot of energy, a lot of calories, a lot of fuel, and you've not been replenished with anything. That's how these men got this hungry that they would just start biting these animals because yeah, that's what happened in this situation. So let's continue here. Verse 33. Then they told Shaul, saying, behold, the people sin against Yahweh in that they eat with the blood. And he said, you have transgressed. Roll a great stone unto me this day. And Shaul said, uh, disperse yourselves among the people, and say unto them, bring you here every man his ox, and every man his sheep, and slay them here, and eat, and sin not against Yahweh in eating with the blood. And all the people brought every man his ox with him that night, and slew them there. And Shaul built an altar unto Yahweh. The same was the first altar that he built unto Yahweh. And Shaul said, let us go down after the Philistines by night, and spoil them until the morning light. And let us not leave every man of them. And they said, do whatsoever seemeth good unto you. Then then said the priest, let us draw near, uh, hinder unto the Most High. And Shaul asked counsel of the Most High, shall I go down after the Philistines? Will you deliver them into the hands of the Israel? But he answered him not that day. Oh my goodness. He don't even know he been cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 38. Oh my goodness. That is a scary place. Every time I read that, he answered him not that day. Verse 38. And Shaul said, draw you near here, all the chief of the people, and know to see wherein the sin had been this day. For as Yahweh live, which saveth Israel, through it be in Jonathan my son, and shall surely die. But he shall surely die. But there was not a man among the people to answer him. Then said he unto Israel, be you on one side, and I and Jonathan my son on the other side. And the people said unto Shaul, do what seemeth good unto you. Therefore Shaul said unto Yahweh, power of Israel, give a perfect lot. And Shaul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. And Shaul said, cast lots between me and Jonathan my son. And Jonathan was taken. And Shaul said to Jonathan, tell me what you have done. And Jonathan told him and said, I did but taste a little honey with the end of my rod, and was in my hand, and lo, I must die. And Shaul answered, the Most High have made the Most High be so, and more also, for you have so you shall surely die, Jonathan. So he's so filled with himself here. He's promising his son that he's going to die for something just because he said it. Jonathan
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even privy to the situation. And not to mention, Jonathan is a true man of war. Verse 45. And all the people said unto Shaul, shall Jonathan die, who have wrought the great salvation in Israel? Most High forbid. As for Yahweh liveth, as Yahweh liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he have wrought with the Most High this day. So the people rescued Jonathan, that he died not. And Shaul went up from following the Philistines, and the Philistines went to their own place. Constant warfare, or constant warfare, it's like. Verse 47. So Shaul took the kingdom over Israel, and found and fought against all his enemies on every side, against Moab, and against the children of Ammon, and against Edom, and against the kings of Zobah, and against the Philistines. And whithersoever he turned himself, they vexed him. So now he's fighting constantly. Like, you thought you was a bad boy? Let's see how bad you is. Verse
Mm-hmm.
48. And he gathered the host and smote the Amalekites, and delivered Israel out of the hand of them that spoiled them. Now the sons of Shaul were Jonathan, Ishu, Ishu,
Ishui.
Ishui, it's like you told I keep, uh, Melchaz, uh,
Shua.
Shua, Melchaz Shua. That's something salvation. I'm going to have to see what that name is.
Ah.
And the name of his two daughters were those. And the name of his firstborn, Marah. And the name of his younger, Makah. Makah.
Makah Khan.
Okay, Tola Key. Okay, let's take a look at that.
It looked like Melech Shua, which would be king of salvation, maybe.
Wow, my king is wealth.
Okay, Khan.
Yeah, my king is wealth. That's interesting. Okay, all right, continue here. Verse 50. And the name of Shaul's wife was Anisam.
Ahinom.
Say again.
Ahinom.
Ahinum. Oh man, I was way off. Ahinum, the daughter of Azamaaz.
Ahimaaz.
Ahimaaz. I'm way off. And the name of the captain of the host was Abner, the son of Ner, Shaul's uncle. And Kish was the father of Shaul, and Ner, the father of Abner, was the son of Abiel. And there was a sore war against the Philistines and all the days of Shaul. And Shaul saw that, and when Shaul saw that any strong man or any valiant man, he took him unto him. So now he surrounded himself. So you see as he continues, now he's becoming more self-absorbed. He's becoming more about his own, as opposed to everything that he was before. Before he seemed like a good cat, but as time has progressed, he's looking different now. So, but let's continue here. You got it from here?
Indeed, Aki.
Come.
It's the book of 1 Shemu'ėl, chapter 15, Shaul's disobedience, verse 1. Shemu'ėl also said unto Shaul, Yahweh sent me to anoint you to be king over his people, over Yasharal. Now therefore, hearken you unto the voice of the words of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh Sabaoth, I remember that which Amalek did to Yasharal, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Mizraim. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. So you have been in the position where you were anointed king, and then you do a foolish act, and that grace is gone from you. But now the voice of the Most High is speaking to you once more and giving you directions, specific directions, right? We have to pay attention, as people of the Most High. We got to pay attention, man.
Yeah, I mean, considering we just read the last chapter that he did not hear back from the Most High that day. So that's telling you right there, I'm not playing with you, dude. I'm not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? You mess up, you out of here. So, yeah.
I continue in verse 4. And Shaul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Yehuda. So, and that's another reason I'm wondering if these men of Yehoiada were with some of them with the Philistines, because we keep on seeing these small numbers of Yehuda participating in the battles, and we know that they were a numerous people.
Right, the most numerous.
All right, verse 5. And Shaul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Shaul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites. lest I destroy you with them. For you showed kindness to all the children of Yasharal when they came up out of Mizraim. So the Canaanites departed from among the Amalekites. And Shaul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Mizraim. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Shaul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refuse, they destroyed utterly. So, anytime there's going to be a war, there's going to be some type of spoils, something that might be pleasing to the eye.
Right.
But we have been given directions from our Abba to destroy it all.
Exactly.
All right. So it don't matter what it is.
Right. If you say destroy it, destroy it.
Oh, Slacky, go ahead.
I was saying, if you say destroy it, then that's what you do.
All right. Shemu'ėl rebuked Shaul, verse 10. Then came the word of Yahweh unto Shemu'ėl, saying, It repented me that I have set up Shaul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and hath not performed my commandments. And it grieved Shemu'ėl, and he cried unto Yahweh all night. And when Shemu'ėl rose early to meet Shaul in the morning, it was told Shemu'ėl, saying, Shaul come to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Shemu'ėl came to Shaul, and Shaul said unto him, Barak be you, or Barakatah of Yahweh. I have performed the commandment of Yahweh. Oh, really? Verse 14. And Shemu'ėl said, What meaneth then this bleating of sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? And Shaul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto Yahweh our power, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. So, it just, in my mind, I'm thinking that this is not a mistake that he's made. He's made this decision to keep, these things, because he said, everything else we destroyed, but you remember what you were told, man.
He think he did good, huh? I did what Yahweh said.
All right. Verse 16. Then Shemu'ėl said unto Shaul, Stay, and I will tell you what Yahweh hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Shemu'ėl said, When you were little in your own sight, were you not made the head of the tribes of Yasharal? And Yahweh anointed you king over Yasharal? And Yahweh sent you on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then did you not obey the voice of Yahweh, but did fly upon the spoil, and did evil in the sight of Yahweh? And Shaul said unto Shemu'ėl, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yahweh, and have gone the way which Yahweh sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahweh your power in Gilgal. And Shemu'ėl said, Hath Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahweh? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Right. That always sticks with me. Always a voice, a verse, that remember, to be obedient is better than sacrifice, right?
Exactly.
If we're obedient, Slacker, go ahead, Aki.
Oh, no. I was just agreeing with you. I was saying exactly.
If we're obedient, there's no need to make a sacrifice. You know, we might make an offering of goodwill or a peace offering, something of that nature. But if we have been obedient, sacrifice it's no need.
Right, indeed. Indeed. One other thing I wanted to point out as well that we saw here, that we read here, when he said, verse 21, he said what he did in verse 20. In verse 21, he said, but the people took the spoils of the sheep. So now he's taking, he's disregarding the fact that he's supposed to be the king. It wasn't me, it was the people. The people did this. So now who's responsible for it? Oh, but I can't do against the people. It was the people. Like, brother, that's not leadership. So, you know what I'm saying? It was all these little subtleties that even though you I kind of feel sorry for Shaul, but as we continue, we're going to see his wickedness increase and increase. So, but I wanted to hit that point. But go ahead, Aki.
Indeed, and perhaps the people had already kind of left him in a lot of ways because of the incident with his son. You know, they prevented him from killing him. So, you know, a king's authority is supposed to be, you know, absolute.
Indeed.
You know, but it doesn't appear that, you know, I think the people have seen what is it? They've seen something not straight. You know, they've seen something in him to not want to listen and obey, you know.
Indeed, okay.
All right, verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of Yahweh, he hath also rejected you from being king. It's terrible. And Shaul said unto Shemu'eel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of Yahweh and your words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. You know, each week that we get on this call, you know, you lay down what, you know, the duty of man is. And it's to fear, not to fear the people or anything other than the Most High and keep his commands.
Indeed, okay.
All right. Verse 20. Verse 25. Now, therefore, I pray you, pardon my sin and turn again with me that I may worship Yahweh. You know, so, you know, he's falling short out. But, you know, those last two verses, you know, he seems very repentant. You know, also he admitted what he had done was wrong, and he seems repenting and wants to be forgiven and wants to be in good standing with the Most High, which, you know, we should all want to desire to be in, you know.
Indeed. And I think that's a good point that you bring that, because you have to understand that him being in this position, which he didn't even opt for, he didn't say, make me king and I'll do well. He didn't do that. In fact, he fled. He didn't even want the responsibility. But him having that responsibility, him having that crown, he had a greater responsibility than another cat who wasn't the king. If he would have said, oh, I was wrong and I apologize, I'm sincere, he probably would have been accepted. But Shaul here was rejected.
Verse 26. And Shemu'eel said unto Shaul, I will not return with you, for you have rejected the word of Yahweh, and Yahweh hath rejected you from being king over Yasharal. And as Shemu'eel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle and rent it. And Shemu'eel said unto him, Yahweh hath rent the kingdom of Yasharal from you this day, and hath given it to a neighbor of yours that is better than you.
He cut him on his way out.
I'm trying to think of, you know, what I would do, like being told that, you know, I go sit down somewhere, man. I go sit down somewhere.
Matter of fact, I might just go lay down. Like, just go take a nap. Because you done blew it. You know?
All right, verse 29. And also the strength of Yasharal will not lie nor repent, for he is not a man that he should repent. I like that. They call him they capitalize that as well, the strength of Yasharal.
That's dope too. Like, I didn't realize. I think that's the first time we noticed that. Time. So yeah, just having a quick look at it here. Prudent, enduring, everlasting. Yeah. So I'll praise. Let's continue here. That's dope.
Verse 30. Then he said, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray you, before the elders of my people and before Yasharal, and turn again with me, that I may worship Yahweh, your power. So Shemu'eel turned again after Shaul, and Shaul worshiped Yahweh. But Shemu'eel, he's already delivered what the Most High plans on doing. The Most High, if he says it, that's what it's going to be.
Right.
All right, verse 32. Then said Shemu'eel, bring you hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately, and Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past. So now, I think we have let me continue. Verse 33, and Shemu'eel said, as your sword hath made women childless, so shall your mother be childless among women. And Shemu'eel hewed Agag in pieces before Yahweh in Gilgal. So, we're wondering, Shemu'eel just told him, I'm not going to turn in with you. Right. And then the second time he asked, he goes ahead and turned with him. Could it have been just so he could cut up Agag?
Yeah, I think he did that so that he wouldn't be. I think because he had 600 men with him. So I think he did that so he wouldn't be attacked. Because what what I'm saying? What could happen? Shaul, the king, commands get Shemu'eel, and then what? So I think that's the reason. Logically, that's all I can deduce now. Am I correct in that? I'm not dogmatic in it at all. But and then of course, he was able to take care of this Agag and hewed him in pieces. My gracious, Shemu'eel, boy. I thought Shemu'eel was an old man by this time.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
I'm thinking he like 80 years old, like close to death. And to hear he done hewed him in pieces, like good grief.
All right, continuing verse 34. Then Shemu'eel went to Ramah, and Shaul went up to his house to Gibeah of Shaul. And Shemu'eel came no more to see Shaul until the day of his death. Nevertheless, Shemu'eel mourned for Shaul, and Yahweh repented that he had made Shaul king over Yasharal. All right, continuing. This is the book of 1 Shemu'eel, chapter 16. Shemu'eel goes to Bethlehem, verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Shemu'eel, how long will you mourn for Shaul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Yasharal? Fill your horn with oil and go. I will send you to Yesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons. And Shemu'eel said, how can I go? If Shaul hear it, he will kill me. And Yahweh said, take a heifer with you and say, I am come to sacrifice to Yahweh. So I think you were spot on.
Yeah, I think two instances. Yeah, that he said he was concerned about him killing him. And also you see him mourning for Shaul here in verse 1. So I think it was kind of that side because he I don't know, there had to be some likability of Shaul, number one. And then he had that concern that, hey, if I don't do what he said, it could cause a conflict.
Yeah. And remembering that, why did Shaul fall out of grace? Out of ignorance, not knowing that he wasn't supposed to be sacrificing. So if I'm Shemu'eel, I'm thinking, man, this man is It's crazy. He don't know what he's doing. He's capable to do anything.
Right, anything. He got no limits on it.
God. All right, verse 3. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you what you shall do. And you shall anoint unto me him whom I name unto you. And Shemu'eel did that which Yahweh spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Come you peaceably? So yeah, he was, he was also a man of renown, a prophet of the Most High. Right. Yeah, this would have been a man to revere, a man that can bring thunder and rain, right. By calling out to the Most High. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this would have been somebody you would have been concerned with them showing up at your door.
Right, exactly.
All right, verse 5. And he said, Peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto Yahweh. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass, when they were come, that he looked on Eliab and said, Surely Yahweh's anointed is before him. But Yahweh said unto Shemu'eel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looketh on the heart. Verse 8. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Shemu'eel. And he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by. And he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Shemu'eel. And Shemu'eel said unto Jesse, Yahweh have not chosen these. And Shemu'eel said unto Jesse, Are here all that your children? And he said, There remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Shemu'eel said unto Jesse, Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither. David anointed. Verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and with a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And Yahweh said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Shemu'eel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Ruach of Yahweh came upon David from that day forward. So Shemu'eel rose up and went to Ramah. But the Ruach of Yahweh departed from Shaul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him.
Whew. Man.
Yeah. That's hard, huh? That's hard,
Yeah, indeed.
Verse 15. But Most High don't make any mistakes,
No, not at all. Not at all. Just imagine though, like the Most High can take his spirit away, and then you get an evil spirit in place of it. And you don't even, you know what I'm saying? You don't even know. Like, man, it's crazy. Scary is what it is.
Yeah. Verse 15. And Shaul's servants said unto him, Behold now, an evil spirit from the Most High troubleth you. Let our Adonai now command your servants, which are before you, to seek out a man who is a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High is upon you, that he shall play with his hand, and you shall be well. I'm wondering, we were on that call earlier, and we talked quite a bit about culture, the culture of our people. Right. I'm wondering where it was written, or who started the oral tradition that a harp can soothe a man suffering from, being tormented by evil ruach.
Yeah, that's interesting too as well. Like, you think about we grew up hearing music soothe the savage beast, and all of these type of things, and we read that right here. Let's get a man with a harp who's skilled in the harp, and when that spirit, the evil spirit, comes on you, he can play. and you'll be soothed. Like, that's interesting.
Come. Verse 17. And Shaul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen a son of Yesse the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and Yahweh is with him. Wherefore Shaul sent messengers unto Yesse, and said, send me Dawid, your son, which is with the sheep. Remembering that this is the king, and before the other chapter, we read that, he took all of the goodly men in the land for himself.
Indeed.
All right. Verse 20. And Yesse took a donkey laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a goat, and sent them by Dawid his son unto Shaul. And Dawid came to Shaul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Shaul sent to Yesse, saying, let Dawid, I pray you, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High was upon Shaul, that Dawid took a harp and played with his hand. So Shaul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him.
Seems to be working.
That's something. All right, closing out.
Indeed.
This is the book of 1 Shemu'ėl, chapter 17, Goliath's challenge, verse 1. Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Succoth, which belongeth to Jehoiada, and pitched between Succoth and Ezekah, in Ephes Dammim. And Shaul and the men of Yasharal were gathered together, and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Yasharal stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them. And there came, Slakia, verse 4, and there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass.
Wow.
And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff and his spears was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron. And one bearing a shield went before him. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Yasharal, and said unto them, why are you come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and you servants of Shaul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall you be our servants and serve us.
Wow.
And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Yasharal this day.
Wow.
Give me a man that we may fight together. When Shaul and all Yasharal heard those words of the Philistines, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now Dawid was the son of the Ephraite of Bethlehem Jehoiada, whose name was Yesse, and he had 8 sons. And the man went among men for an old man in the days of Shaul. And the 3 eldest sons of Yesse went and followed Shaul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And Dawid was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Shaul. But when Dawid went in return from Shaul to feed his father's sheep in Bethlehem, and the Philistine, verse 16, And the Philistines drew near morning and evening and presented himself 40 days. You know, that should stand out to us. 40 days. Whenever we hear that, we remember Moshe was up on the mount 40 days. Remembering our king, and well, remember before Moshe was up on the mount, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And then, you know, the war was renewed. Moshe, 40 days, you know, up on the mount, came back down, delivered the law unto us. Before Mashiach began, you know, a lot of his ministry, he fasted 40 days, right? So hearing that, we know that that's something significant.
Yes, indeed.
All right, verse 17. And yes, he said unto Dawid his son, take now for your brethren an ephah of this parched corn, and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to your brethren, and carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their thousands, or their 1,000, and look how your brethren fare, and take their pledge. Now Shaul and they and all the men of Yasharal were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. Dawid accepts the challenge. Verse 20. And Dawid rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to fight, and shouted for the battle. For Yasharal and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. And Dawid left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran into the army, and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And Dawid heard them. And all the men of Yasharal, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were sore afraid. And the men of Yasharal said, have you seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Yasharal is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Yasharal. So, you know, make his house free in Yasharal, remembering that, you know, this king has a tax, so to speak, you know, whatever he wants, really.
And then he's the top man. You know, I thought this was miraculous. And when Goliath threw out that challenge, it was basically all or nothing. If you can fight me and kill me, then I will be servants unto you. But if I kill your man, you'll be servants unto us, all of you. So it's all or nothing. It's like, if you take this, that's why nobody even wanted to appear as if they were taking that deal, because if they went out there, it's one thing if you win, but if you lose, oh my goodness. Now you're
we've lost a lot.
Yeah. You put the whole nation in captivity. So, man.
Yeah. Who wants to go down as the man who made us have to go into captivity, you know?
Right, exactly.
All right, good point, Aki. Verse 26. And Dawid spake to the man that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Yasharal? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living power?
Right.
And the people answered him after this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he had spoken to the men. And Eliab's anger was kindled against Dawid, and he said, why come you down here? And with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your pride and the haughtiness of your heart, for you are come down that you might see the battle. And Dawid said, what have I done? What have I now done? Is there not a cause? You know, he's telling, what did I come here to do? What did I do? I gave you the provisions our father gave, and I took your pledge. You know, that's what he's saying. What did I do? What did you see me do here?
Exactly.
All right, verse 30. And he turned from him toward another and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him again after the former manner. Dawid kills Goliath. Verse 31. And when the words were heard which Dawid spake, they rehearsed them before Shaul, and he sent for him. And Dawid said to Shaul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Your servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Shaul said to Dawid, you are not able to go out against this Philistine to fight with him, for you are but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. You know, so this is still how it's how the worldly view things. You know, when you don't have that spiritual lens, you know, you can't understand how the Most High can take, you know, the least of us and do what he wants to do. You know, we should understand that because we read all of these stories. You know.
Indeed.
All right, verse 34. And Dawid said unto Shaul, your servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and I took a lamb out of the flock, and I went after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. Your servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living power.
Right.
Dawid said, moreover, Yahweh that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Shaul said unto Dawid, go, and Yahweh be with you. You know, so he said go, but you know, I'm thinking that he's still in disbelief. He's not believing that he's probably thinking he's getting ready to send this crazy guy out here to get killed, you know?
Yeah. I mean, from what he said, it's pretty evident that he's gonna do what he want to do anyway. So
okay. Verse 38. And Shaul armed Dawid with his armor, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head. Also, he armed him with a coat of mail. And Dawid girded his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And Dawid said unto Shaul, I cannot go with these, for I have not provided them, and I have not proved them. And Dawid put them off him. You know, so this is wise. You know, he hasn't been out in this equipment before. He doesn't know how he's going to be able to, you know, maneuver and you know, he doesn't know if it's good armor. He's never, you know, proved it, you know.
Right.
Verse 40. And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto Dawid, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw Dawid, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. You know, he didn't look like a soldier, you know.
No. Like, who's this little pretty boy? Get out of here.
Come. Verse 43. And the Philistine said unto Dawid, am I a dog that you come to me with staffs? And the Philistine cursed Dawid by his deities. And the Philistine said to Dawid, come to me, and I will give your flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. Then said Dawid to the Philistines, you come to me with the sword and with the spear and with the shield, but I come to you in the name of Yahweh Zabaoth, the power of the armies of Yasharal, whom you have defied. This day will Yahweh deliver you into my hand, and I will smite you and take your head from you. And I will give the carcass of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the erects, that all the erects may know that there is a power in Yasharal. So he's young, but he's full of the Ruach, Ak.
He got it, Aki. I mean, he got it. Like,
verse 47. And all this assembly shall know that Yahweh save not with the sword and spear, for your battle is Yahweh's, and he will give you into our hands. And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew near to meet Dawid, that Dawid hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And Dawid put in his hand in his Slakia. And Dawid put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the erects.
Wow.
I'm just trying to imagine, I remember back in the day, having rock fights, I remember trying to throw rocks around corners, to see if I could hit stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever thrown a rock so hard that it would stick in somebody's forehead. I
think we grew up thinking that this was like a supernatural act. But you remember what, did you see the video that Elder Benaiah?
I just thought about that. We saw him using that sling and how it was lethal.
It made it sound like a shotgun.
God. Yeah. Indeed. All right, verse 50. So Dawid prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of Dawid. Therefore Dawid ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword and drew it out from the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. Hallelujah. Man, I'm trying to picture this in my head. Can you imagine somebody so big that you can stand on them and bend down and pick up their sword?
Right. God, he stood on top of him like, dang, this is a big man. And Dawid is a little man. A youth.
Yeah, I bet it sounded like an elephant when he dropped out.
Yeah, I bet he went boom.
Verse 52. And the men of Yasharal and of Yahweh rose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until you come to the valley and the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way to Sha'aram, even unto Gath and unto Ekron. And the children of Yasharal returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents. And Dawid took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem. But he put his armor in his tent. That's his spoil, but the head is for all, for all, Jerusalem to be able to see,
Right, God.
All right, verse 55. And when Shaul saw Dawid go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth? And Abner said, as your soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell. And the king said, inquire you whose son the stripling is. And as Dawid returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Shaul with the head of the Philistine in his hand. And Shaul said to him, whose son are you, young man? And Dawid answered, I am the son of your servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite. So I'm wondering what's going on with Shaul, where he doesn't, I wonder, did he send Dawid out after possibly sending other men out, and just kind of lost track of who everybody was?
This is actually ironic, because this is the same Dawid who was playing the harp, to calm him. So how did he not know who he is? Like, this is ironic. This is some ironic situation, but that could speak to the state of mind of Shaul and how he was just way out there.
I was thinking the same thing,
Yeah, that could speak to that. And then I would even wonder why Dawid was like, me.
I've been playing the harp for you all these days, man.
Right, exactly. You know who I am, man. You just gave me the armor. I told you I wasn't armor. What's wrong with you, man? You tripping? But I tell you what, something I wanted to hit on right here. How they chased out these Philistines, and yeah, he was walking around with his head like, yo, this was a wild scene because this man Goliath head had to have been huge, and he's holding it probably by the hair, and he's carrying it with him in his hand. And I imagine him raising it up like, yeah, this that heathen that was talking all that trash. You know what I'm saying? Here he is. Here he is. This is the one you was worried about. This is him. Yahweh has delivered him into our hands. And he's showing all the people, and the people are probably like, yo, this dude is valiant, but he crazy too.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just imagine that. But man, good stuff. All praises to the Most High. Again, I love these historical context in these books, and these scripts, in these chapters. You know, it really makes for solidifying the context of this nation of people. This, because here we are. We believe that we didn't have any history. We didn't have any heritage. We were probably some crazy people swinging from vines, and they came and took us and brought us here. And generations later, we've gone to high schools and colleges and all these things, and here we are thinking that this is what it is. This is the end all be all, and it's not the case. We actually have a rich, very rich history. And it's right here. It's written in the text. And so the Most High being so amazing, to preserve this for all this time, to get right here back to us. Here we are reading it for anybody in the earth who want to hear it. We right here doing it. And so they have every opportunity to take it, to partake of it, and to enjoy it. So praises to the Abba. Abba is magnificent. And man, this historical context is great to hear. Even our rise and our falls, even our highs and our lows, is great to hear because we are people who have come from a long way, but the best is yet to come. So I'm gonna rest there. Go ahead, Akeem.
Con, great read today. Great history. Reading about how our people, or hearing about how our people are becoming a nation. We've got a king who is over the people, but he's not right with the Most High. Likewise, I think we have leaders in the church who are not with the Most High. Man, you can't be right with the Most High when the Most High talks about abominations that you accept. Right.
Exactly.
So it's funny, as time goes by, how some things remain the same, and regretfully, stony hearts is something that remains, and it is our prayer and our hope that all Yasharal be saved. And our hearts have to be changed for that to happen. I'll yield there.
All praises to the Abba. We're gonna go ahead and close it on out. It's been a great opportunity to get into this reading, and man, we look forward to the next 7 chapters next week. Hope you'll join us and enjoy the reading as much as we do. So there's a reason why we do this, and we're going to go to Romans chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Ha'abba for Israel is that they might be saved. We want to see our people saved. We want to see our people set free. We want to see our people free from these captivities and all these lands wherein we've been scattered and regathered and given everything that we have been promised. How are we going to do it? First of all, we're going to keep the faith, the belief in the return of Hamashiach, the Messiah. And besides that, we're also going to Ecclesiastes chapter number 12, verse 13. Let us hit the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so very important to understand that in the conclusion of the whole matter, we are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, all the dust is settled, and all the smoke is cleared, we will be judged on whether we have feared the Most High and kept his commandments. Why? Because this is the whole duty of man. I am Yaakazaki Yahu, joined by my most esteemed Akenaniah, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahweh Bashem HaMashiach, Wamalak, Yahweh Shai, and to the 12 tribes of Israel, who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom, Wa Baruki. That is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait till the day when the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone, with our enemies, our adversaries, and all those who hate us under our feet. Until that day come, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Pekah.
All praises to the Abba. Praise you, Abba Yah. Kwam Yasha Allah.
Kwam Yasha Allah.
Barak Hashem Yahweh.